So I'll start with some of the AI, robotics, and other technology-related updates and announcements that happened in this year so far. So in February itself, I have seen many of the robotic startups have announced a lot of about their products, announced something about their products. So I want to just discuss or just show you about those things, and maybe then we can have something whatever you have to say about this. So I'll just start with the videos here. Okay. Very good. Okay, let me start with Helix. So is this video? Can you see this?
Yeah, I can see.
So in this case, do you also hear the audio or only the video?
I can hear in your audio.
Or do you hear the audio or only the video?
No, I can only see the video, not the audio. No, I cannot hear the audio.
Okay. So anyways, audio isn't. I don't think it's too necessary here. So this is from Figure. So they have actually announced something called the VLA model, as per them, it unifies language understanding, and yeah, basically it's about this. So they have in this video they are showing a demonstration of being able to, I think so, segregate objects. So that's one of the demonstrations here. And another recently they have also announced a news that they are no longer partnering with OpenAI. So just about a year ago, they made an announcement that they are partnering with AI for the software aspects of their model. But I think I don't know how long it was. Probably in the span of the last 1 month itself, they said that they are no longer partnering with AI or OpenAI. Instead, they are building their own models. So
So
along with the
this
hardware.
is this is the model training and everything was done by themselves.
I don't know whether the behavior that they're going to show here was trained by them means by themselves alone, or was it done in collaboration with OpenAI? I don't know. I think so. Probably it was done with collaboration with OpenAI because they just announced it probably about a month ago that they are no longer collaborating with them. But this is announced on February 20. So I know so this is already being done, but when they were already collaborating with them. So moving forward in the upcoming, whatever they're going to do, they're going to do on their own. So just let's look at the video. I think okay, subtitles are also not there. So since you can't hear, I'll just tell what that person told him. So he told that these robots are looking at these things for the first time. So by that, I think so what it means is that they are not being pre-trained on this kind of specific objects. I think so they might have been pre-trained on how to segregate things, but they have not seen this kind of objects earlier. I think this is probably the first time they're looking at this, and so he's saying that based on whatever you have learned, try to segregate things and put them where you think it belongs.
So is it also calculating the position and everything of the fridge and stuff, or does it?
I don't know
Yeah.
how they're doing this.
So the layout could be anything. They will figure out where the fridge is.
Yeah, might be. And the thing is that they are also collaborating with one another. I don't know how they're doing it, whether they are mentally connected or just there. Okay, so this was an announcement by Figure. So this, I think that this is a demonstration of their helix model. So that was it. And this was announced on 20th of February 2025. This was one of many that was announced this month. So let me show you some. Let me show you clone this one, the clone robotics. And yeah, since you won't be able to hear the audio, but if you, I suggest you to watch it on your own sometime after this, because the audio is very, it's the kind of audio that is used in horror movies, and the comments that you'll see here, it's very, people are giving this dystopian perspective of these things.
Okay, I have seen this one.
Yeah. Yeah, the unique thing about this company is that they are using, they're replicating muscular, I'd say, sequence, how biological life forms have this kind of muscles. Anatomically accurate. Okay. So I think that the unique selling point of this company is this muscular simulation. As compared to the other robots, they are more like mechanical ones. This is the closest one that I have seen so far, which resembles a biological life form. And yeah. So this audio is from Oppenheimer. I didn't knew that. Next, newcomer. Yeah. So this one is about for this is for home purposes. I would say. Okay, means this is what they've designed it for, to aid people in their regular household activities. So I think these are the three, and another one we have, this is Unity's. Again, it's kind of similar, but okay, I'll not go to this video anymore. But yeah, again, this was announced on February 22, 2025, and the clone that was announced on February 19. So in the span of 3-4 days, this kind of announcements were made. And so one thing I'll say is that out of all these announcements and all the previous ones as well, the kinds that Tesla's Optimus and Boston Dynamics, the robots that they have created. So one thing that's common among all of them is that they are all intended to be worked on, at least in the beginning, for industrial purposes. They're all designed for industrial purposes, so to be used in factories. So at least that's their that's their initial objective. But so that's the thing that's different in case of 1X, the robot, in this case NeoGamma, this model by 1X. So they are targeting home first, they are going home first approach. So their objective is to create robots that can assist in regular household activities. So that's their approach. So they are not focusing on industrial use cases. Rather, they're concentrating on how these robots can be useful in regular household activities.
The first one also was based on household activities only, right? What is it?
Yes. I have seen. I have read about it. So what they've said is that even though they are demonstrating this on household activities, but the practical use case that they're aiming for is for industrial purposes. So that was just a demonstration that yes, they can collaborate or they can segregate things in that way. So I think in the future, because they have this kind of technologies, they can branch out for household use cases as well. But from a business point of view, they are initially targeting industries. That's the thing. But Neo is the only one that's different here. Let me see. Let me show the article if it's possible. No. Yeah, if you read this paragraph, it says that NeoGamma arrives amid a sea of humanoids from companies like this. While firms like Figure already have their robotic systems operating a mock home environment. I think so. This is what they're referring to, the one that fits segregation. Within their labs, all have prioritized warehouse and factory deployment. X1's home first approach makes it unique among its direct peers. So as I said, they are all prioritizing industrial use cases. X1 is unique in the case that they are trying home first approach. Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah, this is the same thing that we've seen before. Okay, so this was about all the robotics announcements. So next, I'll go through. Yeah, this is about the recent announcements about quantum computing. So in the past 2-3 months, Google, Microsoft, and even Amazon have announced their quantum chips. So there's a brief timeline about this, and then you can go into the details. So first, on 9th of December, Google announced their quantum computing chip called Willow. And then on 19th of February, Microsoft announced theirs. And on 27th of February, Amazon also announced the quantum chip. So these are the 3 announcements by 3 of the biggest tech companies about quantum chips. So what do you have to say about this?
So, do you know is there any similarity between all these chips?
The one thing that I have seen is the comparison about the qubits that are there in all of these three chips. Apart from that, I don't know. From what I've seen, I think so it is in this video itself, this one. So let me show it. Google's the number of qubits in Google's chip is way higher than the others. Let me show that. They have shown some graphics here. I don't know where it is. Yes. Yeah, this is the one thing that it says that Google's chip has 105 qubits, Microsoft has 8 qubits, and Amazon has 9 qubits. But that's the thing that I know about this. Apart from that, I don't know much about the details about them.
So for the other two, I don't know much, or I don't know at all.
Okay.
For the Majorana one,
okay.
They're saying they're using a completely new architecture to build it from the ground up. They're calling it the topological core architecture, where they're using a different material called topoconductors.
Okay.
So it is, I think this chip is built using a combination of a semiconductor and a superconductor. So I think one is indium arsenide, which is the semiconductor, and aluminium. And Microsoft are calling this the world's first topoconductor.
Okay.
Yeah, and in terms of scalability, they are saying that this new architecture will provide a much clearer path to fitting 1 million qubits on a single chip. So from what I understood, is that only if we have about 1 million qubits, then only is it practical. It is useful for practical purposes, the quantum chips.
Okay.
So if you do not have 1 million qubits, you cannot really use it for any practical purposes. And Microsoft is saying with their architecture, it is possible to reach 1 million qubits in. I forgot the term they use somewhere. They use the term. Anyways, they basically meant that not in decades, but in years, we can reach 1 million qubits.
Okay.
Yeah, so this topological qubits are designed to be more like resistant to errors compared to traditional qubits. It's an all generic term I'm using, but I don't really practically know what it was.
Okay.
But some of the potential impact of or the significance of this announcement was first in the breakthrough in material science because of the use of they are calling it new state of matter called topoconductor. And because of this, there might be potential for rapid advancement. And since it can reach 1 million qubits faster, there will be more practical applications. But this was from all of their, all information was from their announcement only. But I saw a video from this YouTube channel called Sabine Hossenfelder.
Yes.
So she went through the news for both like skepticism as well. So the thing is, so like I'll mention what positive aspects she has mentioned. But the first thing is that the creation of the topological core architecture, it is a new way of building quantum chips. And there's one term or line I'll say I don't really know what it means. They're saying they report achieving a topological qubit with 2 different parity states, measurable with 99% reliability. I don't really know what it means. Anyways. So yeah, this architecture could lead to quantum computers being capable of solving actual meaningful problems in years, not decades. That is the line they keep repeating. But some of the reasons for caution that she has mentioned is that while Microsoft has claimed to create a new state of matter, topoconductors or whatever architecture they're doing it is more accurately a quantum phase of the solid state. It's not something completely new. And they have shown that that the qubits in their demonstration do not show whether it is actually topological or not, as they have claimed. And also, a few years ago, Microsoft research, I think it was a research paper or white paper, whatever it's called, they had released regarding some quantum computing stuff only, but it was retracted because there was some error in data analysis. So this kind of claims they have made earlier as well, which they had to remove. So she's saying that the roadmap they have mentioned to reaching 1 million qubits is overly simplistic and it's not addressing many challenges. I don't know what those are. Yeah, so like I said, quantum computers, in order to be useful for practical purposes, at least needs 1 billion qubits. But I think the current system only have around 150 useful qubits. So that is I read somewhere, and I think you also showed.
Yeah, 105 qubits by Velo.
Huh. So that is what I understood. So a little bit about research about what topological core architecture is. It is basically the use of these topoconductors. So I don't know if topoconductors is a new material or not. I think it is the use of semiconductor and superconductor at once, or I don't know if it is unique to Microsoft or not. But they're saying it is the first what is it called? The topoconductor chip.
Okay.
And actually, this is also the first time I'm hearing, or I think I may have heard the term qubit before. I had not just paid attention. So basically, what I understood about qubits are they're similar to bits, but they can have both the values at the same time, right?
Yes, yes, that's what
That is called superposition or something.
Yes.
Actually, here I read a line. It's saying that qubits can be created using various physical systems such as electrons, photons, or artificial atoms. Do you know what does it mean?
Can you repeat it again?
Qubits can be created using various physical systems such as electrons, photons, or artificial atoms.
Yeah, I don't think I can comment much about that because yes, I'm not sure about what the technicalities about that.
Okay, then do you also know, because here they're saying that they can be linked together in a special way called entanglement, which allows them to share information. So is this what we keep hearing about quantum entanglement? Or is it something
I
different?
know about the theoretical idea concept, the definition of what entanglement is. So I'll first state that, and then I'll ask you again what you're trying to say. So the concept of entanglement is that if suppose two fun particles, two electrons are what is entangled, then if you change the state, I think so there are different properties of quantum particles. Just like massive particles has properties, like if you take a macroscopic property like a human being, it has mass, it has height, weight. So in the same way, quantum particles also have their properties, which are called spins, up, down, and so forth, spin, flavor, and so on. So those are just properties, just like we have properties like mass, height, weight, those kind of properties. So the thing is that suppose, for example, the property called spin. So I think so it has up and down states, two states. The thing is that if one particle is at up state, then the other entangled particle will automatically be at down state. And if you change the state of one particle which is in up state to down state, the other particle will automatically and instantaneously change its state to the opposite one. So that means they are automatically connected. And this is so important, so I'll say astonishing or hard to believe is that this thing happens faster than the speed of light. There is this concept in physics that nothing can travel faster than the speed of light. So at least it will take the speed of light to communicate between two distances. But quantum entanglement happens instantaneously, even faster than the speed of light. So that's a very that's an unbelievable thing to think about. But yeah, that's the theoretical concept that I know about. what entanglement is. Now, what were you saying about this?
Yeah, I just had a question because I don't really know in detail. They're saying that qubits are linked together due to entanglement, and so they can share information among each other.
Yeah,
So I
means,
guess
I think that is
in
how they
practical
can.
terms, I can processing a little faster or whatever.
Yes. I think so. That is how, because since they're entangle, so their communication will be instantaneous, and yeah, processing will be, yeah. I think so. Just now, an idea came to me. So there's this thing that because of speed of light, there will be, suppose when humans have a similar colony or a civilization on Mars, so there will always be a lag because of the speed of light. But if suppose there are quantum computers and somehow they're entangled, so I think that's one way that's in which instantaneous communication could take place. Means it's a possibility, at least in theory, since they can communicate faster than the speed of light instantaneously.
Yeah, but so are they, and so this entanglement is in despite of physical distance or something.
Yes, it's despite of physical distance. So I think so. It was also experimentally proven that this communication happens instantaneously. I think even if I don't know how they have determined this, but I think so. It's scientifically accepted that even if two particles are at the opposite ends of the galaxy, even then, if one changes, the other will instantaneously be affected. That property of other entangled particle will instantaneously be affected by that. So yes, it's scientifically accepted. It's not something. It's not the freak theory or something. It's a scientifically accepted concept. Yeah.
That was all. I don't really have anything else.
Okay.
Maybe just one thing that do you know where the name Majorana or whatever, how is it pronounced, comes from?
No.
It's actually one Italian theoretical physicist who had made contributions to quantum mechanics.
Is it his name?
So yeah, so his name is Ettore Majorana.
Okay.
So and some particles was named after him. I think it was called Majorana fermions.
Okay.
Yeah. So that thing, I don't know what it means, but it's saying that Majorana fermions are unique because they have their own antiparticles. Do you know the concept of this or not?
About antiparticles.
Yeah, what does it mean?
Means every particle has its. What I know is that every particle has its antiparticle component, and I don't know the practical implication what it happens here, but at least the theory that I know is that every particle, that means for example electron has its antiparticle, or every fundamental particle has its antiparticle. And the thing is that if the particle and the antiparticle come into contact, they will completely annihilate each other. That's what I know. But I don't know what.
It's saying that Majorana fermions are their own antiparticles.
Wow, that's something I didn't know, that the particle could be its own antiparticle.
Yeah, that's all for this course.
Okay. So, I mean, this year I want to, if things go well, I want to know more about quantum computing in depth, means beyond the surface level. I mean, I actually have found certain sources which gives a good technical introduction, or sort of a technical course. So I actually want to understand more about this thing. I've been wanting to do it for a while now, but I think so finally I might do it this year. I'm just looking to, and then probably we will be able to discuss such kind of developments in much more technical detail.
Yeah.
I have to see if they've mentioned anything about their roadmap here. Not much here, but I think so in the Google's one they have mentioned something about their roadmap. Yeah. Physical code qubit. So I think so this is what they mean by qubits. I mean, I think that this is the one below that they have mentioned here. I think this is this one. They have 10 to the power 1 qubits, which means I think so. Is it 1?
10 to the power 1 is 10, right?
Yes. I don't know. I can't zoom it clear enough. So it looks like it's 10 to the power 1. But
If you right click and open image, I think you can.
I don't think it's an image. What is it?
Okay, let me.
Yeah. Anyways, since they have at least they have mentioned something about their roadmap, and I don't know what the end physical qubits are. Is it 10 to the power 4?
10 to the power 6 is million, right?
I think so. Yes. Yes.
It's a 10 to the power 6.
So even they are also trying to get to a million qubits. I mean, they have not mentioned the timeline, but the sequence of milestones that they want to achieve. How long it will take, they haven't mentioned this. So yeah, about this. And let me see if there anything else we can talk about. What did it zoom so much? No, stuck in here. Close this and open it again. I don't know what's happening here. So I think so. What did I want to talk about here? I don't know. Can you hear me, or is the video?
No, I can hear you.
Okay. I don't know what's happening. Let me just close this one for now. Isn't even closing. It's okay. Maybe yeah. Okay. Anyways, I think so. Recently, ChatGPT and Claude also made some announcements about their new models. But have you heard of them?
Yeah, I have. I think 3.7 Claude 3.7 is the latest one. 4.5, right? From
Yes.
OpenAI.
Yes.
But I saw that Fireships video on 4.5. I have not used it. I don't think it's available for use for everyone. Currently, it's not very what's the term? Intelligent.
Yes, and what the consensus is that it's not as big of an upgrade. I mean, it's just a very minor one. And but comparatively, Claude isn't doing a lot of such kind of, let's say, quick announcements. In the sense that,
but from what I hear, Claude's model is always being recommended for coding purposes.
Yeah, I think, I mean, even for my personal use, from a writing point of view, their AI is much better than the OpenAI. So that is what I have experienced firsthand. For coding, I haven't used much. I use more of OpenAI, ChatGPT, and the reason behind that is that the thing with ChatGPT is that once you reach a certain limit and it says that you cannot use the top model anymore, it switches to a inferior model, but it continues. On the other hand, what happens with Claude is that after a while it just says no, means you need a pro subscription to continue. So it doesn't switch back to a lower model. And again, so for that you have to start with a new tab and again explain it to that tab that what was I doing so far, and again go on and explain. So from that point of view, I don't use much use Claude much for coding, but for writing
But
purpose,
actually, for me, sometimes it changes the models. If
does it?
say sometimes the server load is high, then it moves from it used to move from Sonnet to HiQ or something.
Yes. I mean, when the server load is high, it does that. But if you could chat with it long enough, and if
Yeah,
that
it will say your next message is from 4 or whatever, like
yes,
after a few hours.
yes, you can't continue. I mean, you have to either get a post subscription or get wait for a few hours. But that's not the case with ChatGPT. But yes, for writing, yes. So what happened is that once I was making some asking the AI to make some drafts for an article. So for 2 sections, I used Claude, and then I reached that limit. So I thought I'd continue with ChatGPT. So I uh, opened a new tab, gave him all the context that what I was trying to do and so forth. And then I asked him to, I even gave him the first 2 drafts made by Claude and asked him to say that, okay, you read this and continue with it and maintain the same tone. By tone, I mean that the writing style that I was doing for the uh, first two sections, continue with the same tone. But it couldn't. I gave it multiple iterations that no, it's not happening. You have to do it again, do differently. It couldn't. It couldn't match the style of Claude at all. So yeah, that's lacking in there. And yes, even I don't think Claude has this chain of thought feature as well. Or they also don't have this voice feature. So I think so they are focusing more on their pure intelligence aspect of it in spite of means instead of going through all these different sub areas. And because of that, probably their core AI performance is much better. I mean, so yes, and I think so. The kind of I also want to know, study or at least understand more about what reasoning models are and how they are, at least in that on the technical level, how they are different from other models. Because uh, ChatGPT has announced, I think it was months ago, but I think so they have a separate line right now in terms of naming. They have this
Yeah,
O3,
the O3 is the reasoning model, I think.
yes. So, and then they are parallelly also announcing 4.5 and so on. So since they made this kind of 2 different parallel line of products, so I want to know, at least on the at the technical level, what's the difference between a general LLM or and a reasoning model? Because that's the same. DeepSeek is also doing the same. They have this DeepSeek V3 and R1 and so on. So they have these parallel models going on. So I want to just
I'm also curious as
that's
well.
yes, that's what I want to look into. Yeah. So uh, yep. Nope, it's not working. So anything else you want to say?
No, nothing can close.
Yeah. Okay. You can stop it.